Are you ready for the ultimate Zarpado compilation facts? Subscribe and let's start. In dinosaur movies, especially the famous Jurassic Park saga, the roars that seem so real did not come from any prehistoric animal, but from an ingenious mix created by sound designers. To bring the fearsome Tyrannosaurus Rex to life, they combined the bellows of an alligator, the growls of a tiger, and the sounds of a baby elephant. This mix resulted in the brutal roar that millions of viewers associated with imminent danger. The curious thing is that we never really knew what dinosaurs sounded like, since no one lived alongside them. In China, an architectural feat surprised the world when the Broad Group company erected a 10-story building in just 28 hours and 45 minutes. Thanks to the use of prefabricated modules called the living building system, they managed to assemble the entire structure in record time. Despite the speed of construction, they assured that the building was sturdy, earthquake-resistant, and had an estimated lifespan of 1,000 years. Furthermore, it achieved a record for the lowest energy consumption during the construction process. The face with tears of joy emoji became the most used in the world and was chosen as the word of the year in 2015 by Oxford Dictionaries. Its global spread transformed it into a cultural symbol of digital communication. It represented emotions faster than any written phrase. It showed how emojis changed the way we express ourselves online. The first color television broadcast in the United States occurred in 1953. Even so, color televisions did not become popular until the 1960s. The high cost delayed their widespread adoption. Eventually, the technology became standard in homes. During its early years, the Statue of Liberty not only served as a welcoming symbol, it also operated as a beacon. From its inauguration in 1886 until 1902, it emitted a light visible for nearly 24 miles, guiding ships arriving in New York Harbor. However, its illumination proved insufficient for nighttime navigation, causing several maritime incidents. For this reason, the U.S. Congress decided to remove its function as a lighthouse and maintain it solely as a monument. In Finland, the culture of respect even extended to bumper cars, which, in theory, should collide, but there they do not. In Finnish parks, the rule was that collisions were prohibited, so riders simply circled as if they were in an endless roundabout. If they accidentally bumped into someone, they offered an immediate apology before continuing with a friendly smile. For many visitors, the activity lost its charm, but for them, it was a display of national courtesy. In Texas, Eugene Bostick dedicated his later years to rescuing dogs in need, and at 80 years old, he built a makeshift train to take them for rides. He used plastic barrels cut in half, mounted them on wheels, and joined them together like cars. He could transport up to 9 dogs at a time, taking them on joyful journeys. An animal lover since childhood, he never imagined that retirement would turn him into a hero for so many homeless dogs. Since 2013, World Toilet Day has been celebrated every November 19th, established by the UN to raise awareness about the global sanitation crisis. Millions of people lack safe toilets, leading to disease, death, and pollution. The date aimed to promote universal access to adequate and sustainable toilets. Although it seemed like a trivial matter, it represented a serious problem affecting entire communities. Artificial rain was created using cloud seeding techniques, which involved injecting silver iodide, potassium iodide, or dry ice to induce precipitation. There was also the concept of cloud bleaching, a technique still under study intended to reflect more sunlight to reduce global temperatures. Although both ideas had atmospheric goals, they were clearly different. One sought to produce rain, and the other to cool the planet. The first film, considered to be a horror film, was released in 1896 and was called Le Manoir du Diable, The Devil's Manor, directed by Georges Méliès. It lasted barely 3 minutes, but it revolutionized cinema with extraordinary visual tricks for its time. It included witches, demons, and magical transformations that created an unparalleled Gothic atmosphere. It was an early example of how film could evoke emotions and create fantastical worlds. A popular legend claimed that the Oscar statuette was inspired by the Mexican actor Emilio El Indio Fernandez. According to accounts, Cedric Gibbons, art director at Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, needed a model, and his wife, Dolores Del Rio, suggested Fernandez because of his athletic build. Although the Academy never confirmed this story, the version became part of Hollywood folklore. The mystery remained an old rumor, difficult to verify. At the North Pole, the phenomenon of the midnight sun occurred, where the sun remained visible 24 hours a day for months. From March to September, the Arctic summer illuminated the region without pause, activating its wildlife. In contrast, the polar winter plunged everything into constant darkness from September to March. These extreme changes were explained by the Earth's tilt and its orbit around the sundial. During the 1930s, some poor families reused flour sacks to make clothing. Upon learning of this, manufacturers began printing colorful designs on the sacks to make the garments look more appealing. Housewives washed the fabric, followed the printed patterns, and created dresses, shirts, and children's clothing. Over time, wearing flour sacks became commonplace and even creative. Coca-Cola, founded in 1886, came to own around 500 brands and more than 3,000 varieties of beverages. Exploring all of its options would take about 9 years if one were tried every day. The company expanded its catalog to include soft drinks, energy drinks, dairy beverages, tea, coffee, and plant-based alternatives. Its diversity was one of the pillars of its global success. Pixar's Coco underwent a 6-year creative process inspired by the Day of the Dead. To achieve facial expressiveness, the animators developed special software capable of handling different levels of detail. The lighting required a new system created by Lightspeed and RenderMan to process millions of lights. Some scenes took up to 1,000 hours to render, although they later managed to reduce this to 450. When we cry, the lacrimal punctum drains excess tears into the nose, producing the sensation of dripping. This small opening in the eyelid prevents the eyes from becoming too full and avoids irritation. The tears travel to the tear ducts and then to the throat. It is a protective system that works automatically. The letter E, present in essential Spanish words, once represented between 13% and 15% of the letters used in common texts. Along with A and O, it formed the most prevalent group of vowels in the language. This predominance was explained by its frequent use in articles, pronouns, and basic verbs. Its linguistic importance made it a dominant element of written language. A Chilean wine called Meteorite was aged with a fragment of a meteorite said to be 4.5 billion years old. Originating from the asteroid belt, this extraterrestrial piece gave it a unique symbolism. The wine had a dark color and a vibrant, smooth flavor, according to its creators. Although it was not the most expensive in the world, it was certainly one of the most unusual. Paul Alexander lived for more than 70 years inside an iron lung due to the polio he contracted as a child. The disease paralyzed him almost completely, leaving him with mobility only in his head and neck. Even so, he studied, earned a law degree, and worked as a lawyer. He died from COVID-19, an example of strength and resilience. The sun was never a comet. It has always been a star of incandescent gas. It took approximately 230 million years to complete one orbit around the Milky Way, moving at over 514,000 miles per hour. Its gravity captured all the planets and bodies in the solar system. Comets, on the other hand, were icy objects that simply orbited it. The rainbow eucalyptus tree was notable for its multicolored bark, which displayed shades of blue, green, orange, red, and violet when it peeled away. This phenomenon repeated itself several times a year, regardless of the season. Its appearance made it one of the most striking trees in the world. Each layer resembled a natural work of art. Cinderella's slipper was never made of glass in Charles Perrault's original version. It was actually made of verre, a French word meaning squirrel fur, but it was confused with verre meaning glass. The mistranslation changed the story and gave rise to a popular myth. That small error transformed the image of the shoe forever. The design of Aladdin, the Disney character, was inspired by Tom Cruise after Michael J. Fox was ruled out for looking too youthful. Furthermore, the movements of his baggy pants were based on the dance moves of rapper MC Hammer. This combination of influences created a unique and stylish protagonist. That detail often surprises many fans. The Centennial Light, located in Livermore, California, remained lit since 1901, making it the longest-lasting light bulb in the world. Its thick carbon filament and minimal wattage of 4 watts allowed for its extraordinary lifespan. The fact that it was almost never turned off prevented it from wearing out. Its existence raised questions about the durability of modern technology. In 1913, 10-year-old Sarah Rector received land in Oklahoma and unknowingly became a millionaire. When she leased the plot, the company discovered an oil well that produced 2,500 barrels a day. That generated more than $300 a day, equivalent to about $8,000 today. At just 11 years old, she became known as the richest black child in the world. If Amazon were to stop operating for 24 hours, it would lose approximately $360 million. Considering its rate of 15 million per hour, not only would direct sales be affected, but also cloud services and the marketplace. Brands would see their reach reduced, and users would lose access to essential tools. The decline would have a huge global effect. In Denmark, there was a tradition of covering single people who turned 25 with cinnamon on their birthday. If they reached 30 without marrying, the punishment increased, and they were bathed in pepper. Although it seemed cruel, it was a friendly joke among friends and family. Its origin dates back to single traveling merchants of the 19th century. For a human to be bled dry by mosquitoes, 1.2 million would need to bite simultaneously. Each one could extract between about 0.000034 and 0.00034 fluid ounces per bite, a negligible amount. Although impossible, mosquito-borne diseases did represent a real danger. Dengue, malaria, and Zika were serious examples. Volkswagen came to control 12 major brands, such as Bentley, Bugatti, Lamborghini, Audi, Ducati, and Porsche. It even held a 20% stake in Suzuki for a time. Its conglomerate allowed it to cover all types of automotive markets. From compact cars to luxury vehicles, its reach was global. Starbucks allocated $300 million annually to medical, dental, and vision insurance for its employees. It also offered psychological therapies and access to mental wellness platforms. This investment even exceeded what they spent on coffee beans. This policy strengthened its image, and the history of entertainment holds a fascinating curiosity. The same person brought to life 2 completely different iconic figures. Frank Oz, a talented puppeteer and actor with an almost chameleon-like vocal range, was the one who portrayed both the wise Master Yoda in Star Wars and Miss Piggy in The Muppets. He also manipulated Fozzie Bear, Grover, and Cookie Monster, demonstrating that his versatility defined an entire era of unforgettable characters. His artistic contribution left a profound mark on generations of viewers. In Welsh folklore, there was a belief that corgi dogs possessed a magical quality. These animals, known for their short legs and agile gait, were said to serve as mounts for fairies who roamed forests and fields. According to legend, the white markings on their backs were footprints left by these tiny creatures after riding them. Although corgis were actually sheepdogs, the myth strengthened the charming connection between the breed and Celtic folklore. For millions of years, there were no tigers in Africa, despite what many imagined. These felines evolved in Asia about 2 million years ago, and their range extended from Siberia to Southeast Asia, reaching as far as Indonesia. They adapted to forests, mangroves, mountains, and grasslands, forming a remarkably diverse species within their continent. Africa, in contrast, was home to lions, leopards, and cheetahs as its iconic great predators. There is a curious and uncommon disorder called somnophobia, characterized by an intense and irrational fear of sleep. Those who suffer from it experience extreme anxiety as bedtime approaches, worried about possible nightmares, or the feeling of losing control if they fall asleep. In some cases, the fear of not waking up arises, which amplifies the emotional distress. Even so, it is considered a treatable disorder with appropriate therapy and techniques. Ian Fleming, creator of the famous Agent 007, chose the name James Bond in an unexpected way. While developing the novels, he looked for a simple, common, and unpretentious name that would contrast with the extraordinary life of the spy. His inspiration came from the American ornithologist James Bond, author of Birds of the West Indies, whom he admired. The real Bond discovered the coincidence in 1961 when he read it in a newspaper, surprised to see his identity transformed into a global icon. In the United States, some highways conceal a military function that many drivers never imagine. During the Cold War, certain sections of highways were designed to serve as emergency landing strips in the event of a nuclear attack. It is estimated that about 199 miles of these roads could operate as improvised runways for military aircraft. This strategy strengthened the national infrastructure, especially in rural areas of the Midwest. Denmark is recognized as one of the cleanest and most sustainable countries in the world thanks to ambitious policies. The government invests in efficient public transportation, renewable energy, and green technologies based on a strong environmental awareness. A large part of its energy comes from wind and solar sources, integrated into an exemplary waste management model. Furthermore, its cities prioritize cycling, promoting a healthy and eco-friendly lifestyle. The biology of cockroaches is always intriguing, and one of its most surprising facts explains its reputation for resilience. A cockroach can survive for up to 9 days without its head, as it breathes through spiracles located on its body rather than through its mouth. It dies from dehydration, as it cannot consume water. Even without a head, its nervous system continues to react to stimuli for a while, highlighting the peculiarity of the phenomenon. Goats exhibit an unexpected ability related to vocal communication. Researchers at Queen Mary University of London discovered that they can develop distinct accents depending on the social group in which they grow up. When they transition from living only with their siblings to joining larger herds, they modify their tone to resemble that of the group. This finding demonstrates that the creation of accents is not exclusive to human beings. In Finland, there is an official postal address for sending letters to Santa Claus, located in Rovaniemi, Lapland. Every year, thousands of children from all over the world write to Santa's main office at postal code 96930, Napapiiri, where local volunteers manage the correspondence. Although not located exactly at the North Pole, the location has become an iconic spot for keeping the Christmas tradition alive. Replies are sent in Santa's name, transforming each letter into a small dream come true. A historic event occurred on April 18, 1930, when the BBC announced that there was no news. Instead of broadcasting a regular bulletin, the network decided to fill the segment with piano music due to the lack of relevant events. Decades later, director Helen Bowden recalled the episode and remarked that something like that would be unthinkable today. The relentless flow of information guarantees headlines at any moment. During the First World War, an unexpected episode reflected humanity amidst the conflict. On Christmas Day, 1914, British and German soldiers spontaneously halted fighting and met in no man's land. They exchanged modest gifts, sang carols, and played an impromptu football match in the freezing winter. Although the truce was brief and not widespread, it remains a symbol of hope in dark times. The human body continues to function actively even during sleep, and resting involves a greater expenditure of energy than many believe. An adult can burn between 70 and 100 calories per hour while sleeping, equivalent to between 400 and 800 calories per night. In contrast, watching television consumes only between 20 and 40 calories per hour because it is a passive activity. Nighttime metabolism continues to work to repair tissues, process information, and maintain vital functions. The word estuve has a unique linguistic peculiarity in Spanish. It contains 4 consecutive letters in alphabetical order. The sequence STUV appears naturally in the conjugation of the verb estar in the simple past tense. This detail makes the word a favorite for riddles and word games. Its structure illustrates how the organization of the alphabet can unexpectedly coincide with the morphology of language. The nails on the body also reflect how activity influences simple biological functions. The nails on the dominant hand grow slightly faster due to increased circulation and the constant stimulation from daily use. Factors such as diet, genetics, and overall health influence the hardness and speed of growth. This small everyday detail shows how the body responds to repetitive patterns. In humanity's earliest culinary developments, soup emerged as one of the first known recipes. Our ancestors heated water in pits in the ground using hot stones, preparing broths with meats, roots, bones, grains, and herbs. The resulting liquid concentrated nutrients, flavors, and aromas that aided digestion and improved nutrition. This dietary progress influenced overall health and the evolution of human well-being. History begins by evoking the intense melis zomos, that dark broth the Spartans prepared with blood, vinegar, salt, and herbs, a mixture they drank before and after battles because they believed it gave them vigor. The metallic taste remains a symbol of the rigorous spirit that characterized their culture, almost as if each sip condensed the discipline of their training. Even today, that brew awakens a mixture of fascination and strangeness that connects the present with the harshest traditions of antiquity. History is not always found on scrolls. Sometimes it is in a recipe. As that ancient culinary memory blends with modern imagination, the curious frontier of impossible colors emerges. The brain works only with the combinations detected by the cones in the retina, so it seems logical to think that we cannot invent new colors. However, manipulated vision experiments demonstrate that perception can momentarily break its limits and display an extremely saturated blue-green hue that does not appear in the natural spectrum. To match it with conventional colors, subjects needed to add white light, making the experience almost surreal. The limit is not in the eyes, but in how the brain interprets reality. This interplay between limits and ingenuity also emerges when recalling the first recorded counterfeiting of currency carried out around 540 BC by the polygates of Samos, who adulterated gold to settle a debt with Sparta. This event marked the beginning of a long history in which coins were altered clandestinely for profit. In ancient China, the punishment for daring to counterfeit the emperor's currency was so brutal that it included mercilessly tearing out the guilty party's heart. The economy had its own drama, one in which trust was worth more than metal. Another curious fact is found in the Vatican, where no one has permanent residency. The city, with approximately 800 inhabitants, grants functional citizenship to those who work for the Holy See, but this disappears as soon as their work ends. Many of its residents come from countries like Italy or Switzerland and return to their original nationality when their duties conclude. Life in the Vatican functions almost like a constant diplomatic role, a status that exists only while the person is fulfilling a specific mission. It is more a ceremonial than a domestic country. Aviation also holds silent secrets, such as the crew rest, a system in which some crews rest in hidden cabins while others operate the flight. On long routes, it is common for a pilot to arrive in a country without leaving the aircraft, wait during the layover, and begin the return flight without having set foot on foreign soil. This mechanism ensures that each member of the team remains alert and rested, adhering to strict safety regulations. What is surprising is that all of this occurs while the passengers see only a closed cabin and dim lights. The human body is also full of surprises. There is a curious proportion where the length of the foot roughly matches the distance between the wrist and elbow, a pattern explained by anthropometry. While not identical in everyone, it does reflect natural trends in human development, as if the body followed an inherited architectural blueprint. This coincidence serves as a reminder that anatomy is full of silent symmetries. Every day has hidden mathematics. On the world map appears Liechtenstein, a country so compact it can be crossed on foot in less than a day. It's about 16 miles from north to south and barely about 2.5 from east to west, allowed for a steady pace, although the Alps added slopes that challenged any hiker. Vaduz, the capital, serves as a starting point for those who wish to experience crossing an entire country without cars or trains. Geography sometimes appears in miniature, but full of charm. The kitchen reveals another surprise with the hole in the spaghetti spoon, a design created to measure a standard portion of dry pasta, about 3.5 ounces for one person. Furthermore, it allows cooking water to drain and prevents noodles from clumping together. It is a detail that often goes unnoticed among common utensils, but its function solves problems many did not even know they had. Household engineering is much smarter than it seems. Sharks, on the other hand, defy the image that cinema has instilled for decades. Although they are considered ferocious predators, most exhibit calm behavior and rarely fight with members of their own species. Bull sharks even establish social networks of up to 2,000 individuals where they recognize stable relationships akin to friendships. Far from being hunting machines, they are key players in maintaining the ecological balance of the oceans. The myth of the aggressive shark fades when science looks beyond the surface. Among the most peculiar animals are the platypus and its relative, the echidna, both of which lack a traditional stomach. Their digestive system replaces the gastric sac with a pouch where food passes quickly before heading to the small intestine. This adaptation allows them to process diets rich in invertebrates without needing a powerful acidic chamber. Human life is no stranger to curiosities either. Daily hair loss typically ranges from about 40 strands in men to about 70 in women, a difference influenced by hormones, growth cycles, and genetics. Factors such as nutrition, stress, and age also shape this process, making it a silent indicator of the body's well-being. When hair loss exceeded the norm or appeared suddenly, a dermatological consultation became key to understanding what the body was trying to communicate. Hair, more than just aesthetics, is a reflection of internal synchronicities. The ancient custom of stilt fishing in Sri Lanka presents a unique scene on the country's southern coast, where fishermen balanced on poles about 10 feet high are driven into shallow water. They sat on a narrow bamboo pole called a peta, holding onto the pole with one hand while casting their lines with the other to catch herring and mackerel. This technique, which attracted tourists from all over the world, had begun to disappear as it became unprofitable. In Spain, there were towns that surprised everyone with their unusual names, making the country one of the places with the greatest variety of curious place names. In Jaén, there was the village called Venta de Pantalones, panty sales, and in Murcia, the well-known city of Alcantarilla. There were also towns with names like Pepino, Cucumber, or Peleas de Arriba, upper fights, which generated as much laughter as intrigue. The Ectolife Project, created by science communicator and molecular biologist Hashem Al-Ghaili, proposes a system of artificial wombs capable of developing up to 3,000 babies per year. Each capsule uses synthetic amniotic fluid, to which hormones, nutrients, and medications can be added. Parents have access to an app to monitor the growth, heartbeat, and well-being of their unborn child. They can also use virtual reality headsets and haptic suits to feel the baby's movements in real time. In the United States, the company Radia is developing the prototype of the Windrunner, a massive cargo plane designed to transport wind turbine blades that are impossible to move by road. Measuring about 354 feet in length and with a wingspan of about 262 feet, its goal is to revolutionize the wind energy industry. The first test flight is planned for either 2027 or 2028. It can land on unpaved runways and surpasses the dimensions of the legendary Antonov in 225, making it the largest aircraft ever built. In Mexico, the rise in wallet thefts inside stadiums decreased beer consumption, as many fans preferred to enter without their wallets or cell phones. The Corona brand then launched the innovative Jersey Pay, a technology that turns soccer jerseys into digital wallets using a chip placed under the crest. Users could add credit and pay by simply tapping their chest against the card reader. In its first week, 3,000 chips were sold, and beer sales increased by 35%. In Sardinia, Italy, the small town of Olalai offered houses for €1 with the intention of revitalizing its aging population and attracting young professionals. More than 1,000 people from different countries submitted applications to participate. However, buyers had to commit to renovating the homes within a specific time frame and assume the renovation costs, which could be high. Even so, the project was considered a success due to the increased international interest. Among the world's most fascinating animals, female kangaroos stand out for possessing an extraordinary reproductive system. They had 3 vaginas and 2 interconnected uteruses, allowing them to gestate up to 3 offspring at different stages simultaneously. They could maintain 1 embryo in diapause, another growing joey in the pouch, and a larger joey feeding externally. This mechanism made kangaroos an impressive example of biological efficiency. In Colombia, the Caño Cristales River, known as the River of the Gods, was ablaze with vibrant colors between June and November. The Macarinia clavigera plant turned a deep red when bathed in sunlight, while shades of green emerged in the shaded areas. Yellow came from minerals in the riverbed, and black and white were formed by the spray of the waterfalls. The reflection of the sky completed a natural spectacle considered one of the most beautiful on the planet. In ancient China, several emperors sought the elixir of life, but the most famous case was that of Qin Shi Huang, the country's first emperor. He died in 210 BC at the age of 49 after ingesting mercury pills concocted by alchemists that promised immortality. His obsession with living forever demonstrated how myths about longevity profoundly influence politics and culture. Paradoxically, many of these elixirs cause the death of those who consume them. The American company Carbon Robotics developed the Laser Weeder, an agricultural robot capable of eliminating up to 200,000 weeds per hour. It used artificial intelligence, high-resolution cameras, and powerful lasers to remove unwanted plants without the need for pesticides. This improved soil health and increased agricultural yields. Its design aimed to reduce costs for farmers and promote cleaner, more sustainable crops. Although we always imagine the sun as yellow, its true color was actually white. It emitted light at all visible wavelengths, but Earth's atmosphere filtered out part of the spectrum, making it appear yellow when high in the sky and orange when low in the sky. In contrast, astronauts saw the sun as completely white when observing it outside the atmosphere. This visual difference demonstrated how human perception depends on environmental conditions. In 2015, a small town in Minnesota called Dorset, with just 22 inhabitants, elected a 3-year-old boy named James Tufts as its mayor. The election was part of a local festival where attendees bought tickets to vote for their favorite candidate. Although the position was symbolic, James became a media sensation. His older brother, Robert, had also been mayor in previous years, making the tradition even more colorful. Caligula, Roman emperor from 37 to 41 AD, was remembered for his eccentricities and despotic acts. One of the most striking stories told of him declaring war on the god Neptune. He ordered his soldiers to march to the sea and attack the waves, as well as collect seashells as plunder. Although many historians debated its veracity, the anecdote became symbolic of his erratic behavior. In 2023, NASA launched its free streaming platform called NASA Plus, which allowed users to watch documentaries, rocket launches, live streams, and educational content without advertising. It was available on web browsers, iOS and Android phones, as well as on smart TVs via Apple TV or Fire TV. It included sections dedicated to children, becoming one of the most accessible space outreach initiatives. In Mexico, within the Census Park in Cancun, there was the famous upside-down village. The houses seemed to be oriented in impossible ways. The furniture was on the ceilings, and the lamps were on the floor. Visitors walked downhill, but in reality, they were going uphill. The entire structure took advantage of optical illusions to disrupt the perception of balance. The experience generated dizziness and fascination, becoming one of the park's most popular attractions. Indian entrepreneur Ash Badra, founder of Tali, created shoes made from recycled plastic bags and bottles. Each pair used about 10 bags and 12 bottles, which were cleaned, disinfected, and processed into sheets. The pieces were joined with vegan glues and stitching made from recycled polyethylene. Even the boxes could be transformed into biodegradable planters that germinated basil in about 10 days. In 2023, Las Vegas witnessed yet another extravaganza. A Formula One car drove through the casino at the Cosmopolitan Hotel. The driver was Sergio Checo Perez, who was participating in a Red Bull promotional event ahead of the first Las Vegas Grand Prix. Visitors filmed the scene in amazement, and the video went viral on social media. The appearance was part of a campaign to generate excitement for the new race. Yoda, one of the most iconic characters in Star Wars, was never given a specific species identification. George Lucas decided to keep this detail secret to preserve the mystery surrounding the Jedi Master. His enigmatic origin increased his appeal among fans. He became an icon of wisdom within the saga. It was estimated that a person spends around 6 years of their life sleeping. This time was crucial for memory consolidation and bodily restoration. Sleep affected virtually all biological functions. Its importance was evident throughout life. The Carlsbad Caverns, located in the state of New Mexico, formed one of the most impressive underground systems in the United States. These caverns originated millions of years ago, when an ancient limestone reef slowly dissolved due to the action of acidic groundwater. Over time, the interior became adorned with stalactites and stalagmites of extraordinary beauty. Its main chamber, known as the Great Hall, reached about 253 feet in height and over 400 feet in length, earning it the popular nickname Highway to Hell. The global internet relies primarily on submarine cables that crisscross oceans and continents. More than 99% of global traffic flows through these hose-thin lines. Satellites played a minor role in comparison. Without these cables, current connectivity would be impossible. Nomophobia describes the fear of being without a mobile phone, whether due to loss of signal or a dead battery. This disorder became common among generations accustomed to constant connectivity. Its rise revealed modern dependence on digital devices. It affected both social habits and psychological behaviors. The Great Sphinx of Giza, carved directly from a single block of limestone, stands as the oldest and largest monolithic statue on the planet. Standing approximately about 66 feet tall and about 240 feet long, it represented an unprecedented architectural feat in the Old Kingdom of Egypt. Its creation was attributed to Pharaoh Khafre around 2500 BC, and it was believed to combine his face with the body of a lion to symbolize power and protection. Over the centuries, It became a historical enigma that fascinated entire generations. Few people realize that mouthwashes have a higher alcohol content than many beverages. Most commercial mouthwashes contain between 18% and 26% alcohol to eliminate bacteria, while a red wine averaged between 12% and 15%, and a white wine between 10% and 12%. Although effective for disinfecting, they could cause dry mouth and disrupt the natural microbiome. Therefore, alcohol-free alternatives emerged to reduce risks such as cavities, canker sores, and irritations. Approximately a century ago, pit bulls were known as nanny dogs due to their patient and protective nature. In the United States at the beginning of the 20th century, they were considered ideal companions for children thanks to their stable temperament and unwavering loyalty. Their positive reputation contrasted sharply with the modern perception influenced by cases of mistreatment and sensationalism. History demonstrates that the animal's behavior depended primarily on the training it received within the family environment. In China, an ancient dance emerged that astonished the world, the Dance of a Thousand Hands. This spectacle was performed by a group of deaf-mute dancers who followed their instructors' every movement with impeccable precision. The choreography represented Guanyin, the Buddhist goddess of compassion, creating the illusion of multiple arms outstretched in perfect harmony. The result was a visually stunning performance that combined spirituality, discipline, and synchronicity. One of the most talked about incidents in recent aviation was the Delta Airlines flight between Atlanta and Barcelona that had to return due to an extreme case of explosive diarrhea. A passenger suffered a severe episode that spread down the aisle, which the pilot described as a biohazard. The aircraft landed back in Atlanta for a thorough cleaning that took several hours. After disinfection, the flight took off again and arrived in Barcelona with a considerable delay. In the animal kingdom, there are amazing abilities, such as the sloth's capacity to hold its breath for extended periods. These animals have been recorded as being able to stay underwater for up to 40 minutes, thanks to their ability to drastically reduce their heart rate and metabolism. In contrast, dolphins needed to surface approximately every 10 minutes. This adaptation allowed sloths to cross bodies of water undetected by predators. The story of erasers began unexpectedly in the 18th century. Although it was common to use breadcrumbs to remove pencil marks, the English engineer Edward Nairn discovered in 1770 that natural rubber erased more effectively. Joseph Priestley documented the material's properties that same year, but it was Nairn who marketed the first erasers. Over time, the vulcanization process developed by Charles Goodyear in 1839 made it possible to create more durable and useful erasers. The adorable sleeping behavior of otters arose from a practical necessity. When resting by floating in the water, they would hold onto each other's front paws, forming groups known as rafts. This action prevented them from being swept away by the current and provided them with additional protection from predators. Furthermore, it strengthened social bonds within the community, making this habit both endearing and strategic for their survival. Charles Darwin, famous for his theory of evolution, also had a peculiar gastronomic adventure during his youth. During his university years, he was part of the Glutton Club, a group dedicated to tasting the meats of unusual animals. Darwin sampled everything from exotic birds to unusual mammals, although he eventually left the club after becoming ill from a particularly unpleasant meal. This episode reflected his curiosity about nature in all its forms, including culinary ones. In China, enormous graveyards of electric cars appeared as a consequence of the collapse of car-sharing companies. Many vehicles were abandoned when state subsidies were withdrawn, leaving thousands of practically new units in open storage facilities. The cars still had their protective plastic wrapping and were registered, but they were never used again. This phenomenon generated massive waste and contradicted the goals of green mobility. In New Zealand, the Animal Works Group developed a program to teach rescue dogs to drive cars. The 8-week training program aimed to demonstrate the animal's intelligence and learning capacity. Some dogs successfully drove on closed circuits, performing maneuvers such as turning, braking, and shifting gears. The project boosted adoption campaigns, showcasing the enormous potential of these companions. Bhutan celebrated the birth of its crown prince in a unique way by planting trees across the country. In 1 hour, 4,977 trees were planted, earning them a Guinness World Record. A total of 108000 trees were planted, 82000 by families, and 26000 by volunteers. This gesture reinforced Bhutan's reputation as one of the nation's most committed to environmental well-being. Japan also surprised the world with the creation of earthquake-resistant houses capable of levitating. The company Air Danshin System developed a system that detects earthquakes using sensors and activates an air compressor that raises the house by about 1.2 inches. This mechanism significantly reduced the impact of the earthquake and protected the structure. At least 200 homes were equipped with this innovative technology that combines safety and advanced science. In the humid regions of Southeast Asia lives a unique reptile known as the Hydrosaurus, famous for its size and aquatic abilities. This lizard, found in places like the Philippines and Indonesia, thrives both on land and in aquatic environments. What distinguishes it most is a striking structure adorning its back, an elongated crest that gives it an imposing appearance, and look how adorable it is when it is relaxing. Philippe Cantaquini's colossal croissant reimagines the traditional French pastry in a gigantic format. Designed to be enjoyed in groups, this golden delicacy becomes the star of breakfasts, afternoon tea, or brunch gatherings. More than just bread, it is an edible work of art with perfectly flaky layers and an intense buttery flavor. Wallace's frog, also called the flying frog, lives in Southeast Asia and has a talent that seems straight out of a comic book. Thanks to the webbing between its legs, it can glide from tree to tree as if it had wings. It can travel up to about 49 feet in a single leap, controlling its direction in midair. This trick allows it to escape predators and move without touching the jungle floor. Orchids are true masters of deception. Some species have developed flowers that mimic female insects, both in shape and scent. When males attempt to mate with them, they end up covered in pollen. In this way, they unknowingly transport the pollen to other flowers, ensuring the plant's reproduction. Ben Underwood was an American boy who lost his sight at a very young age, but he amazed the world with a unique ability. He used echolocation, clicking his tongue and listening to the echo to orient himself. He could avoid obstacles, recognize objects, and even ride a bicycle. His case demonstrated the incredible capacity of the human brain to adapt. In California lies Glass Beach, a beach that resembles a hidden treasure. For years, it was a dumping ground for bottles and glass objects, which the sea gradually eroded. The result is a shoreline covered in small, shiny, smooth fragments, like colorful pebbles. Today, it is a popular tourist destination, although taking the glass is prohibited. The Falabella horse breed is so small, it seems straight out of a fairy tale. Originating in Argentina, these horses stand less than about 32 inches tall. Despite their size, they are elegant and docile, making them beloved animals. Seeing one in person is like encountering a pocket-sized horse. The bull shark is one of the most amazing species in the ocean. Unlike most, it can live in both saltwater and freshwater. This allows it to travel up rivers and even into lakes, where it has sometimes been seen swimming peacefully. Its renal system adapts to changes in salinity, something quite unusual. In Japan, the Sagano bamboo forest is a magical place that enchants all who visit. Its paths are surrounded by towering stalks that form a natural tunnel. When the wind blows, the bamboo produces a hypnotic murmur. This sound has been declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site for its unique beauty. Monarch butterflies make an epic journey each year from Canada to Mexico. The incredible thing is that none of them completes the entire route. Several generations take turns until they reach the Mexican forests. Upon arrival, they cover the trees with thousands of orange and black wings, creating an unforgettable landscape. In Florida, there is the famous Coral Castle, a structure shrouded in mystery. It was built by Edward Leedskalnin, who worked in secret for 28 years. He used blocks of coral weighing several tons without the aid of machinery. No one knows how he managed it, and the enigma continues to fascinate visitors and scientists. The Basenji is a dog that breaks the mold. Unlike most breeds, it does not bark, but instead emits a peculiar call that blends howls and melodious sounds. This breed, originally from Central Africa, was used for hunting thanks to its stealth and agility. Today, it is prized as a pet for its independent personality. In China, beneath Qiandao Lake, lies the ancient city of Xicheng, known as the Atlantis of the East. It was submerged after the construction of a dam in 1952. More than about 131 feet underwater, its temples and sculptures remain intact thanks to the lake's calm waters. Diving there is like traveling to a world frozen in time. Albino kangaroos, resembling mythical creatures, have been sighted in Australia. Their white fur and pink eyes are the result of a rare genetic mutation. Although beautiful, their coloring makes them more vulnerable to predators. Seeing one up close is considered a true privilege. In Serbia, a boy named Bogdan became famous for seemingly having magnetic powers. Metal objects like spoons and lids stuck to his skin without falling off. Although the explanation was scientific, his skin was unusually sticky. The phenomenon fascinated the world. He earned the nickname the Magnet Boy. In Catalonia, Spain, the tradition of castels is celebrated, where hundreds of people form human towers that reach up to 10 stories high. This practice, declared a cultural heritage by UNESCO, requires strength, coordination, and absolute trust. The most exciting moment occurs when a child climbs to the top to crown the tower. In the Caribbean lives the hypnotic fireworm, a marine animal covered in white bristles that glow like embers. But its beauty is deceptive. Those bristles contain poison that causes painful burns on contact. Divers from all over the world observe it with caution and admiration. The praying mantis holds its front legs as if in prayer, but in reality, it is a relentless hunter. It remains motionless for hours before launching itself with surprising speed upon its prey. It can even feed on other mantises, blending apparent spirituality with a lethal instinct. In Iceland lies Reynisfjara, a black volcanic sand beach that seems otherworldly. Its basalt cliffs form columns resembling a stone cathedral, while the Atlantic crashes against them with force. It is a place as beautiful as it is dangerous. In Japan, there is a cat day on February 22nd because the sound ni-ni-ni resembles the meow-nya. On that day, Japanese social media fills with cat photos and memes. In ancient Rome, gladiators rarely died in combat because training them was very expensive. Many fights were more like controlled spectacles than battles to the death. At the 1900 Olympic Games, live pigeon shooting was an official event. It was the only time in history that real animals were used in an Olympic competition. In the Broadway musical The Lion King, some costumes weigh up to 20 kilos, 44 pounds. A few require 2 assistants to put on. Each costume is handmade from leather, wood, and natural fibers to honor African aesthetics. For Titanic, director James Cameron insisted that every dish served in the dining room scenes match the originals from 1912. Recipes came from the ship's actual menus. In perfume advertising, the bottle is often designed first, then the fragrance is created. The visual concept can inspire the scent's formula. The bottle tries to convey emotion, luxury, or personality even before you smell the perfume. In Iceland, there are no surnames in the usual sense. People use the father's or mother's name plus the suffix son or daughter. The phone book is organized by first names. In Greece, the Aegean Sea has more than 2,000 islands, but only about 200 are inhabited. Some are sold as entire private properties. Each island has its own charm, from white sand beaches to rocky mountains. In Japan, there is an island called Okunoshima, known as Rabbit Island, where hundreds of wild rabbits approach visitors. Once a secret military site during World War II, today it is a popular tourist spot. At Cirque du Soleil, artists rehearse between 8 and 10 hours a day. Many come from Olympic or rhythmic gymnastics backgrounds. Each show blends acrobatics, dance, live music, and visual storytelling without using animals. In professional soccer, the fastest goal on record was scored 2.4 seconds after kickoff. The player barely touched the ball more than once. It shows how strategy and precision matter from the first moment. In Pixar's Up, the balloons that lift the house were calculated scientifically. In real life, it would take about 25 million. The artist drew each balloon by hand. In the Stone Age, people used hot stones in their beds to stay warm at night. This practice inspired the modern hot water bottle. At the Cannes Film Festival, every film is screened with subtitles, even if it is in French. Subtitles are mandatory so international audiences can follow every detail. At the 1993 Super Bowl, Michael Jackson paused for 90 seconds simply by standing and looking at the crowd. Viewership surged in real time. That moment created a unique connection with the audience. In food ads, ice cream is often colored mashed potatoes, since real ice cream melts under the lights. Almost no food in commercials is truly edible. In ancient Babylon, priests calculated lunar eclipses with great accuracy without telescopes, using math tables and star records spanning more than 3,000 years. In South Korea, love-themed mini-holidays fall on the 14th of every month, like Chocolate Day or Kissing Day. April 14th is for singles and is called Black Day. During the 1966 FIFA World Cup, the Jules Rimet Trophy was stolen in London. A dog named Pickles found it while sniffing a bush. The recovery became a famous story across Britain. In Turkey, the underground city of Derinkuyu could house up to 20,000 people. Its tunnels reach a depth of about 279 feet. This marvel includes rooms, kitchens, cellars, and chapels designed for extended life underground. In Paris, there are more registered dogs than small children. Many restaurants offer special pet menus. The city supports animal-friendly policies, including dedicated dog parks and dog care services. In the Middle Ages, armor could weigh up to 40 kilograms, about 88 pounds. Knights trained from childhood to stand up if they fell. The armor protected them, but it also demanded strength and agility. At the Super Bowl halftime show, artists are not paid a performance fee. Their music sales and streams usually soar afterward. The huge global audience makes it priceless promotion. In London, an old law bans dying inside the Palace of Westminster. It still exists, though it has never been enforced. The rule reflects ancient views on death in official buildings. In the ancient Olympic Games, athletes competed completely naked as a sign of respect for the human body and the Greek gods. It also highlighted strength, skill, and aesthetics, prized virtues in Greek culture. In cereal commercials, glues and varnishes keep the milk white and thick. The filmed bowls can look fresh for hours, even though they are not edible. In Venice, there is a bridge where running has been forbidden since the 17th century. The original fine was paid in wine. Which bridge is it? The Bridge of Sighs. During World War II, British pilots ate carrots to improve their night vision. It was a propaganda campaign to hide the use of radar. This story popularized the belief that carrots improve eyesight, though the real goal was to confuse the enemy about military technology. In New York City, there are more than 13000 yellow taxis. The color was chosen because it is easier to see from a distance. This choice helps make the taxis easy to recognize among traffic and pedestrians. In the musical Les Miserables, more than 400 costumes are used per performance. They are washed and ironed every night before the next show. Each costume is carefully designed to reflect the era and social class of the characters. In Mexico, the cenote was used by the Maya for sacred rituals. Today, it is one of the most visited places by divers in the world. Its crystal-clear waters and impressive natural cave offer a unique way to connect with history and nature. In Eurovision, singers cannot use live backing vocals. The background vocals must be pre-recorded. This rule ensures uniform sound during the television broadcast. In Finland, the sun does not set for 76 days in summer. That is why it is known as the land of the midnight sun. During this period, outdoor activities and festivals multiply, taking advantage of the constant daylight. In Antarctica, there are vending machines that sell soft drinks to scientists. They are the most isolated in the world and must be restocked once a year. These machines offer unexpected convenience in an extreme and isolated environment. In old Coca-Cola ads, Santa Claus was not red but green. The brand changed his color to red to match its logo and shaped the modern image of Santa Claus. In the Batman comics, the Joker was inspired by a silent film actor. His smile was based on Conrad Veidt in the film The Man Who Laughs from 1928. On Saturday Night Live, each episode is rehearsed in full only once. Many jokes are rewritten minutes before air. This dynamic keeps the show fresh and allows quick reactions to current events. In the film The Wizard of Oz, the yellow brick road was painted with toxic industrial dust. The actors suffered skin irritations from the material, but the color looked brighter on camera. There are no ants in Iceland, but there are more than 200 active volcanoes. The country has a small earthquake almost every day. This intense geological activity has shaped unique landscapes of glaciers, geysers, and lava fields. In Scotland, the Loch Ness Monster has been sought for more than 90 years. The first modern sighting was recorded in 1933, and since then, there have been more than 1,000 reports. Despite the lack of conclusive evidence, Nessie has become a cultural and tourist icon of the region. In China, there is a village called Dafan, where hundreds of artists copy famous paintings. They produce thousands of replicas of Van Gogh and Da Vinci every month. These works are sold worldwide, supplying collectors and interior designers. In ancient Sparta, babies were inspected at birth to decide if they were fit to live. Only those deemed strong were raised as citizens. This practice reflected Spartan society, focused on strength and military discipline from childhood. At NASA, spacesuits are partly handmade. Each suit has more than 5,000 seams, each inspected by skilled seamstresses. This meticulous work ensures the suits can handle the extreme pressure and temperature swings of space. At the Winter Olympics in 1988, the Jamaican bobsleigh team made its debut. They inspired the film Cool Runnings, which became a classic. Their participation broke stereotypes and showed that determination and sportsmanship do not depend on weather or tradition. In soccer, referees began using yellow and red cards in 1970. The idea came from traffic lights. The cards allow clear visual communication of penalties to players and fans. In Disney movies, Mickey Mouse appears hidden in almost every production. Animators call it a hidden Mickey, an insider tradition. At the Coachella Festival, the main stages can use more energy than a small town. Some of the electricity comes from solar panels. The festival has added sustainable measures to reduce its environmental footprint. In Dubai, police officers patrol in sports cars like Lamborghinis and Bugattis. They do this more to attract tourists than for pursuit. These vehicles have become a symbol of the city's luxury and modernity. In The Incredibles, each hair on Violet was simulated separately. Her hairstyle took 6 months of digital work to move naturally. This level of detail made the animation more realistic and expressive. In Iceland, there is a museum dedicated exclusively to animal genitalia. Its collection includes more than 200 specimens, including one human. The museum combines scientific education with a touch of humor, exploring the anatomical diversity of the animal kingdom. In New York City, the subway carries more people daily than the entire population of Norway. More than 5 million passengers use it every day. This system connects the 5 boroughs and operates almost 24 hours a day. In the 1980s, the video game Tetris was considered military equipment in the Soviet Union and could be exported only with government authorization, since it was seen as strategic technology that could earn hard currency abroad. On Spain's Got Talent, some visual effects are added digitally in post-production. The studio audience does not see them live. This makes the TV version more impactful and spectacular for viewers at home. In the Dead Sea, people float easily due to the high salt concentration. Its density is almost 10 times that of the ocean. This lets even inexperienced swimmers float and relax in its waters. In Pirates of the Caribbean, the sound of Davy Jones's tentacles was created with wet sponges and gourds. The effects were recorded entirely with household objects. In ancient China, toilet paper was invented in the 6th century. Only the imperial family had the right to use it. This privilege reflected the status and wealth of the court. In The Lord of the Rings, the word precious was recorded over 100 times by Andy Serkis. The actor used a snore induced by lemon tea to create Gollum's voice. In Finland, there is a world cell phone throwing championship. The record is over 328 feet. The competition blends strength, technique, and precision, and it has become a fun and traditional event. In Egypt, the pyramid builders were not slaves but paid workers. They received beer as part of their daily wage. They also had lodging, food, and medical care during their work. In Egypt, the pyramids of Giza are closely aligned with the stars of Orion. No one knows exactly how they achieved such precision thousands of years ago. The alignment reflects how much the Egyptians valued astronomy and the link between heaven and earth. In Shrek, the original voice of Donkey was recorded by Eddie Murphy in 3 languages. He improvised many lines that were later kept in the script. His unique and spontaneous style gave the character humor and personality. There are no fixed time zones at the North Pole. Scientists use their home country's time to coordinate activities. This keeps research and communication organized among international teams. In car commercials, the windows are often tinted to hide camera reflections. Often the car does not even move, the wheels spin on rollers. This gives full control of lighting and environment during filming. In ancient Rome, only the emperor could wear purple. The dye came from a sea snail called a murex. The process was extremely laborious and expensive, so purple became a symbol of power and wealth. In Monsters Incorporated, Sully has over 2.3 million individually animated hairs. The rendering system took up to 12 hours per frame. Each strand was simulated to move realistically with wind and contact. In ancient Greece, athletes ate honey before competing. It was believed to boost strength and stamina. Honey was also used as an ointment to heal wounds and maintain energy during training. There are no polar bears in Antarctica. They live only in the Arctic. Many movies mistakenly show them with penguins, which has spread confusion about polar wildlife. In Canada, Banff National Park has naturally turquoise lakes. The color comes from tiny rock particles suspended in the water. They reflect light in a way that intensifies the blue, creating spectacular views. In New Zealand, there are more sheep than people, about 5 to 1. The country exports more wool than meat. Sheep farming is a pillar of the agricultural economy. In the history of music, the Beatles never learned to read sheet music. They composed by ear and memory. This helped them develop a creative, spontaneous style based on intuition and experimentation. In Brazil, there is a festival where people throw flour and water at each other. It is called Bloco de Lama, and it symbolizes freedom before carnival. The celebration lets participants cut loose in a spirit of collective fun. In Cirque du Soleil shows, artists change costumes up to 10 times per performance. The costumes are made with stretchy fabrics to handle extreme acrobatics. Each one balances, looks, and function for safety and freedom of movement. In Kung Fu Panda, pose moves were based on real footage of Kung Fu masters. The animators attended classes to understand the art's flow. In Japan, there is a cafe staffed by real owls. Visitors can gently interact with them while having coffee. The idea is to offer a calm, up-close wildlife experience and teach about the birds. In 1969, the Beatles recorded Abbey Road while crossing an ordinary street. Today, that crosswalk is a world-famous tourist stop. Fans copy the iconic walk in front of the studio. In South Korea, there is a cafe where visitors can play with raccoons. It is one of the few places in the world with this kind of attraction. Guests learn about the animal's behavior and care. In the Middle Ages, tomatoes were thought to be poisonous. People avoided them for centuries because of their red color and their link to the nightshade family, many of which are toxic. At the Burning Man festival, selling products is not allowed. People exchange or give gifts instead. This fosters a community based on collaboration, creativity, and generosity. In Dubai, there are ATMs that dispense gold instead of cash. The gold price updates digitally every 10 minutes. Buyers can quickly and securely purchase bars or coins. In Morocco, the blue city of Chefchaouen is painted in shades of sky blue. The color is said to repel mosquitoes and bring spiritual calm. Its narrow cobbled streets create a charming scene that draws photographers and travelers from around the world. In Tokyo, capsule hotels offer rooms under about 22 square feet. They were first designed for office workers who missed the last train. American football's Super Bowl is the most watched television event in the United States. 30-second ads can cost over $7 million. Advertising has become part of the show with creative campaigns aimed at millions of viewers. Ghostbusters. The Ghost logo was created by the same designer who made the Rolling Stones logo. It became one of film's most recognizable icons. At the South Pole, there is a point where all time zones meet. Scientists there can celebrate New Year's several times in one day. This creates unique social and cultural moments during the holidays. In Norway, the Atlantic Road is considered one of the most dangerous drives in the world. During storms, waves can crash directly over the roadway. In France, the Eiffel Tower was first rejected by many artists and writers. It was supposed to be dismantled 20 years after construction. Its value as a radio tower and its growing popularity saved it. In Inside Out, the characters are based on real emotions studied by psychologists. The team first planned 27 emotions, then reduced them to 5. The simplification made the story clearer. In Alaska, the sun can remain above the horizon for 83 straight days in summer. This midnight sun allows nearly round-the-clock outdoor activities. In the 19th century, ketchup was sold as a medicine for indigestion. The inventor John Cook Bennett even prescribed it in pill form. Over time, it became a food rather than a remedy. In Canada, there is a town called Dildo in Newfoundland. Locals turned the name into a tourist draw. The town offers boat tours, museums, and cultural events that play on its unusual name. In the movie Gladiator, the tiger's roar was created by mixing a lion's sound with a motorcycle engine. That blend gave the fight a more epic feel. In ancient Greece, theaters had such precise acoustics that you could hear a coin drop from the top rows. This engineering achievement is still hard to match with modern materials. On Mount Everest, there are more than 200 frozen bodies that serve as landmarks for climbers. Many are visible from the main routes, a stark reminder of the mountain's extreme risks and brutal weather at altitude. In Argentina, the Perito Moreno Glacier advances instead of retreating. Every few years, its ice front collapses, creating a dramatic natural spectacle that draws thousands of visitors to watch huge blocks crash into the water. In Iceland, there are more than 130 active volcanoes. The country generates almost all of its electricity from geothermal energy, harnessing heat from the volcanic ground to warm homes and produce power. In Japan, the most expensive fish is bluefin tuna. One sold for over $3 million at auction, a sign of the luxury sushi and sashimi market's high demand. In Egypt, the Great Pyramid of Giza was once covered in polished white limestone. It reflected sunlight and shone like a giant mirror, visible from miles away and symbolizing pharaonic power. In Kenya, Lake Nakuru is famous for its pink flamingos. Their color comes from pigments in the algae they eat. Each year, thousands gather on the lake, creating a stunning landscape. In the United Kingdom, there is a law that forbids dyeing in Parliament. No one knows exactly why, yet it remains on the books and survives as a curious legal footnote. At the 1900 Olympic Games, swimming events took place in the Seine River. Athletes competed amid debris and strong currents, but still showed remarkable endurance and skill. In the animal world, giraffes sleep less than 30 minutes a day. They rest in short bursts to avoid predators, a strategy that keeps them alert on the savannah. In Greece, Santorini sits atop a volcanic caldera. Its white houses help reflect the intense summer heat, and terraces with narrow streets protect from wind and frame sweeping sea views. In Italy, Romans pioneered an early fast food called the thermopolium. People stood to eat hot stews, a quick option common in cities like Pompeii for busy citizens. In Australia, some lakes are naturally pink, like Lake Hillier. Specialized microbes produce red pigments in salty water, creating striking scenes that draw photographers and travelers. In ancient Rome, women used lead powder as makeup. It caused illness and hair loss, yet it was prized as a symbol of status and beauty. At the North Pole, compasses do not point to true north. The difference can be hundreds of miles due to Earth's magnetic field, so explorers rely on GPS and modern navigation to stay accurate. In China, tea has been consumed for more than 5,000 years. Legend says a leaf fell into hot water by accident, and tea went on to shape Chinese culture, medicine, and ceremony. In London, the underground began before electric trains. Early services ran steam locomotives in tunnels, which made rides hot and smoky. In Germany, Neuschwanstein Castle inspired Disney's fairy tale castle. Construction was never fully finished, yet its romantic towers made it a global icon. In Egypt, pharaohs were buried with food for the afterlife. Perfectly preserved loaves of bread have been found after thousands of years, reflecting the culture's preparation for eternity. In Encanto, the magical casita was inspired by Colombia's coffee region houses. Designers traveled to photograph real details so colors, balconies, and roofs feel authentic. In art history, the Mona Lisa was stolen from the Louvre in 1911. The theft supercharged its fame and turned it into a cultural phenomenon. In South Korea, there is a theme park dedicated to love, with erotic sculptures as a legal tourist attraction that blends entertainment with sex education. In Peru, Machu Picchu was officially brought to global attention in 1911. Locals already knew it, but its high Andean perch kept it hidden and intact for centuries. In the United States, the Grand Canyon has its own climate zones. Temperatures can differ by about 27 degrees Fahrenheit between rim and river, shaping unique microhabitats for plants and wildlife. In Saudi Arabia, camels compete in beauty pageants with million-dollar prizes. Judges even penalize Botox use, and they rate head shape, eyes, and posture. In Canada, Lake Manicouagan is ring-shaped from a meteor impact more than 200 million years ago. The crater is so large that it is visible from space. In India, the Golden Temple in Amritsar serves free meals to more than 5,000,000 people daily. Volunteers cook and serve in a living example of Sikh equality and community service. In Argentina, soccer feels like a religion. There is even a Maradonian church with followers worldwide who mark rituals and special dates in Diego Maradona's honor. In China, pandas are national property. Any panda on loan abroad remains legally Chinese, with strict care and breeding clauses that support conservation. In the Netherlands, bicycles outnumber residents. Cities even build multi-story underground garages just for bikes, a testament to sustainable transport culture. On Saturn's moon Titan, rain is liquid methane. Heavy drops fall slowly, forming rivers and lakes in a unique hydrological cycle. In Zootopia, each animal district has its own climate. Animators built 12 linked digital ecosystems, so characters interact with varied environments consistently. In elite marathons, runners can lose up to about 1.3 gallons of water during a race. Some drink less to avoid stomach issues, so careful hydration strategy is vital to prevent severe dehydration. In Egypt, the Sphinx of Giza may once have worn a false beard. Fragments survive in the British Museum, hinting that adornments added dignity and divine symbolism. In Spain, the Caminito del Rey was once considered the most dangerous walkway in the world. After its restoration, it became a safe and famous attraction. Its route crosses gorges and cliffs with breathtaking views of the natural landscape. In ancient Babylon, commercial contracts were signed with a cylinder seal. Each seal was as unique as a fingerprint, which authenticated documents and helped prevent fraud. In Tanzania, Kilimanjaro is the only snow-capped volcano near the equator. Its glaciers are shrinking quickly, mainly due to climate change and deforestation on its slopes. In the Amazon rainforest, there are poison dart frogs with toxins potent enough to kill 10 people. In captivity, they lose their poison when their diet changes, since their toxicity comes from the insects and ants they eat in the wild. In Greece, some olive trees are more than 1,000 years old, with a few still bearing fruit since the time of Socrates. They symbolize peace, wisdom, and resilience in Mediterranean culture. In Mongolia, many nomadic families still live in yurts. They can set them up or take them down in under an hour. These circular homes are built to withstand strong winds and extreme cold on the steppe. Kangaroos cannot walk backward, which is why they appear on the national coat of arms with the emu. Together, they symbolize progress and always moving forward. In Scotland, the caber toss is a traditional game where competitors throw a large log and try to make it land upright. It is part of the centuries-old Highland Games. In the Swiss Alps, cows wear personalized bells passed down as family heirlooms. Each bell has a distinct tone, so herders can recognize their animals from far away. In The Simpsons, the characters are yellow to stand out on older televisions. The creator wanted viewers to recognize the show while channel surfing, and the warm hue conveys energy and joy. In London, a statue of Peter Pan mysteriously appeared overnight in 1912. The author J.M. Barrie secretly placed it in Kensington Gardens, where the character was born in his stories. In space, astronauts grow up to about 2 inches taller. Microgravity lets the spine stretch, but they return to normal height after coming back to Earth. In Russia, Lake Baikal holds about 20% of the planet's unfrozen freshwater. It is also the deepest lake on Earth, with a unique ecosystem full of endemic species. In the Pacific Ocean, Point Nemo is the spot farthest from any land. Its isolation means it is rarely visited by humans and is often closer to orbiting spacecraft than to people. In France, Mont Saint-Michel becomes an island twice a day. High tides cover the access road completely, a phenomenon that has fascinated visitors for centuries. In Norway, school buses are free and even take children to ski areas in winter. The system gives students safe access to school and activities. In China, some hotels use robots to serve breakfast. Guests can order with facial recognition, and the robots deliver luggage and handle basic cleaning. In Brazil, Christ the Redeemer was built with stone brought from Sweden. Its face is over 10 feet tall, Its arm span is about 92 feet, and it stands around 2,329 feet above sea level. In the 19th century, some doctors recommended smoking to ease asthma. It was later shown to make symptoms worse, and safer evidence-based treatments replaced it. In Egypt, the Library of Alexandria was destroyed several times. No one knows how many books were lost, but it likely housed works of science, philosophy, mathematics, and literature from across the ancient world. Airbag jeans use sensors and built-in airbags around the hips and thighs. When a fall is detected, the bags inflate to cushion impact and lower injury risk. The spitting cobra can eject venom accurately from a distance to defend itself. The spray often targets the eyes and can cause severe irritation and temporary vision loss. Marina Bay Sands in Singapore has 3 57-story towers topped by the Sky Park, shaped like a ship. The platform holds an infinity pool among the highest in the world with sweeping city views. Lucas Ermler, a German slackliner born in 1988 in Dachau, earned world records with daring crossings, including a slackline traverse over Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe. Flying fish use long pectoral fins to burst from the water and glide briefly above the surface, helping them evade predators. The Guangzhou Circle is about 453 feet tall with 33 stories. Its circular design blends glass and steel for a striking skyline silhouette. Ken Stornes is a Norwegian adventurer known online for extreme high jumps and dramatic views of his country. A Paternoster elevator runs open cabins in a continuous loop. Riders step on and off while it moves, allowing constant vertical circulation. Elisane Silva is a Brazilian model standing 6 feet 9 inches tall. Her rapid growth began at age 11 due to a pituitary tumor, and by 15, she chose to turn that difference into strength. In Odense, Denmark, a charming tradition sends a flock of Toulouse geese down the main avenues. A drummer sets the pace and guides the birds to the delight of locals and visitors. Randy Tataleda of Manado, Indonesia, creates detailed celebrity portraits from hair clippings on his barbershop floor after each haircut. Valais black-nosed sheep from Switzerland are beloved for fluffy white wool, contrasted by black patches on the face, ears, knees, legs, and muzzle. In Switzerland, the Nullstern Hotel reimagines lodging with rooms that have no walls or roof, letting guests sleep outdoors under the stars for a deep connection with nature. The Port Jackson shark lives on the seafloor off South Australia. Its gray body is crisscrossed by dark bands, and it moves calmly close to the bottom as it searches for food. Jorge Chavez, a pioneer of Peruvian aviation, became the first pilot to fly over the Alps in 1910. He died during landing, but his courage made him a national icon whose legacy still inspires Peruvian pilots. The Intempo, located in Benidorm, Spain, is among the tallest residential buildings in Europe, reaching about 663 feet and boasting 47 floors. Its distinctive architecture features 2 parallel towers joined at the top by a golden diamond-shaped structure. The Four Corners in the United States is a unique point where the borders of 4 states meet: Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, and Colorado. An iconic monument precisely marks the spot. Tourists can stand in all 4 states at the same time, a one-of-a-kind experience in the country. Mirhan Karimi Nasseri became the subject of a unique story when he was stuck at Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris for almost 18 years. From 1988 to 2006, legal issues about his nationality kept him in the waiting areas. His extraordinary situation inspired the film The Terminal. German bartender Philipp Traber astonished the world with his skill by crafting 17 cocktails in a single act. With a steady hand, he filled 17 tall glasses with energy drinks while placing 17 shots of Jägermeister on top. His timing let the shots drop into each glass at the same moment, creating a flawless spectacle. On the paradise-like island of Siquijor in the Philippines lie the majestic Cambuganhay Falls, known for intense crystal-clear turquoise water. The Cascades drop over 5 low terraces, each roughly 6.6 to 13.1 feet high, framed by lush vegetation and natural rock. In Anchorage, Alaska, a curious moose caused a stir by calmly wandering into a hospital lobby. Drawn by warmth and possibly the scent of decorative plants, it strolled through the automatic doors like any other visitor. Tulum cheese is a Turkish specialty prized for its distinctive flavor and unique production. It is aged inside goatskin sacks, which preserve it and give an unmistakable taste that is slightly spicy and intense, with notes that evolve over time. Anna Galkina, a young woman from Russia, gained international notoriety as the Ice Princess for her ability to submerge in icy water and eat ice without showing discomfort. Her body seems naturally adapted to extreme cold. Hamad Fathi is a prominent Egyptian basketball player known for his skills and his imposing height of about 7 feet 6 inches, placing him among the tallest men on the planet. Julia Butterfly is a notable American environmental activist known for an extraordinary act of peaceful resistance that lasted 738 days. For more than 2 years, she lived atop a California redwood, about 180 feet tall and roughly 1,000 years old, to prevent it from being cut down. The Suitun cenote near Valladolid on Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula is a cavern cenote famous for a semi-enclosed chamber with a roof opening that lets sunlight spotlight the crystal-clear water, creating a striking play of light and shadow. Its transparent waters and serene feel make it a favorite for visitors. In Colombia, there are upside-down houses that surprise visitors, with the illusion of being completely inverted. Everything, from furniture to appliances, is arranged to appear upside down. Vika Bren is a talented Israeli artist known for body painting that turns her hand into optical illusions. Using her skin as a canvas, she creates images that play with perception and transform a simple limb into a surreal work of art. The greenish egret is a small, elegant heron found across the Americas, in mangroves, rivers, swamps, and wetlands. Compact in size, it reaches about 17 inches in length, making it one of the smallest herons on the continent. The Grand Lisboa Hotel is one of Macau's most iconic towers, famous for a lotus-like silhouette. Its golden curving structure rises over the skyline, a visual landmark by day and night. Beer Terrier is a craft beverage from Mexico made for dogs. With natural ingredients like malt, spirulina, flaxseed, wheat, and minimal hops, it offers a refreshing experience without risking pets' health. Stefano Fiorina, an Italian artist from Turin born in 1990, gained international attention for portraits created on aluminum trays. This unusual support gives his faces a distinctive style that challenges traditional portrait boundaries. The sucker squid inhabits the frigid waters of the Antarctic Ocean and can reach about 46 feet in length, placing it among the largest squid on Earth. Nike shook up athletic footwear with the Nike Go Fly Ease, the first sneakers designed to go on and off hands-free. A hinge and tension system adjusts with each step and pops open for easy entry and exit, mixing advanced tech with functional design. The Commodore is a Hungarian breed known for herding and guarding. Its most striking feature is a white or ivory coat of long, thick cords that resemble dreadlocks or a mop. Mr. Doodle is a visual artist who turns almost any surface into a canvas filled with doodles. In 2013, he began sharing his work on Instagram, quickly building a huge following with his distinctive, energetic style. The giant Japanese crab is a remarkable crustacean with an armored triangular body and exceptionally long legs that can reach several yards. Did you know that clouds also regulate global temperature, reflecting sunlight during the day and retaining heat at night? Without this protective layer, Earth would experience unbearable days and freezing nights, with such abrupt variations that many species would not be able to withstand them. What is fascinating is that their function goes beyond climate, since they also transport moisture across the globe. Meanwhile, Artificial intelligence keeps moving forward at an impressive pace, and right now one of the most advanced models on the planet is GPT-5, developed by OpenAI. This type of AI can analyze complex information, hold fluid conversations, and reason with structures similar to human thought. At the same time, other systems like Gemini, Claude, and models from Google and Anthropic are competing to reach new capabilities. If we look back in time, we find that many current traditions have unexpected roots. For example, the wedding kiss had a legal origin in ancient Rome. Back then, kisses were not simply romantic gestures, they were the formal way to seal agreements and contracts. When a couple married, the final kiss symbolized the public acceptance of a pact that united their assets, responsibilities, and destinies. Over time, this tradition passed to medieval Europe and eventually became part of the religious ceremony. On the other hand, modern science has also achieved extraordinary advances that once seemed impossible. In 2022, NASA carried out the DART mission, the first real attempt to deflect an asteroid. The spacecraft impacted Dimorphos, an asteroid orbiting Didymos, and managed to alter its trajectory through a kinetic shock. Although the change was small, it showed that humanity can modify the orbit of a space object well in advance. As for the human body, stretch marks are a more complex phenomenon than they appear. They are not simply skin marks, they are scars that happen when tissue stretches faster than it can adapt. When someone grows, gains weight, or increases muscle mass quickly, collagen fibers break like taut threads. This produces red or purple lines that later turn white or silver. Interestingly, they do not hurt because they occur in deep layers of the skin. History also holds places that marked eras, such as Lecumberri Prison in Mexico, known as the Black Palace. Opened in 1900, it became one of the most feared sites in the country due to torture, abuse, and inhumane conditions. Its panoptic architecture allowed surveillance of all prisoners from a central point, but in practice, it became a symbol of cruelty. Among its inmates were figures like David Alfaro Siqueiros, as well as many political prisoners. After decades of horror, the prison closed in 1976, and the building was transformed into the General Archive of the nation. Another curious topic is the unusual names of medications. Every drug begins with a chemical name that describes its molecular structure, which is why it sounds so complex. Then, the World Health Organization assigns it an international generic name, such as paracetamol or ibuprofen. Finally, pharmaceutical companies create a brand name to differentiate it in the market. These names follow strict rules to avoid dangerous confusion between patients and doctors. In 1989, one of the most unusual cases in the world of video games occurred when a 9-year-old boy named Clark Tim sued Nintendo, Major League Baseball, and the company LJN. He believed that the game Major League Baseball would include real player names due to the official license, but when he played, he found that none appeared. Although the lawsuit was unsuccessful, the case became famous because it showed that even a child could take on industry giants. In the scientific field, one of the most promising research projects of recent years focuses on the elimination of HIV. Thanks to CRISPR, a tool that works like molecular scissors, scientists have managed to cut the DNA of the virus hidden in human cells during laboratory and animal tests. HIV is extremely difficult to eradicate because it integrates into the host genome, but this technique opens a door that previously seemed impossible. If we travel even further back, we find a relic of the Roman Empire that still stands: the Appian Way. Built in 312 BC, it was one of the most advanced roads of its time and was known as the Queen of Roads. It connected Rome with the city of Brindisi and allowed the military and commercial expansion of the empire. The amazing thing is that today, you can still walk on its original stones as if you were traveling back in time. Another useful fact is that chocolate can be deadly for dogs due to theobromine and caffeine. These substances, although safe for humans, are metabolized very slowly in dogs, building up in their bodies and causing neurological or cardiac damage. Dark chocolate is especially dangerous because it contains higher levels of theobromine. A small piece can be enough to put their health at risk. The Karakoram Highway was built between China and Pakistan over more than 20 years, crossing glaciers, seismic zones, and unprotected cliffs, earning it the reputation of the eighth wonder of the world. At over 15420 feet above sea level, it remains dangerous due to avalanches and falls. Thousands of workers took part in its construction, and it is estimated that more than 1,000 died in landslides, explosions, and snowstorms that made normal progress impossible. In Chiapas, there is a town called Chamula, where Coca-Cola is so much a part of daily life that it is more important than water in many homes. Its inhabitants consume more than 210 gallons per person per year, and the beverage is used in religious rituals led by local shamans. During the ceremonies, Coca-Cola is drunk to cleanse the spirit and expel bad energies, something that replaced wine or holy water in certain traditional rituals. In Las Vegas, the Circus Hotel has gained notoriety as one of the city's most unsettling places, despite its cheerful, family-friendly circus theme. Since its opening in 1968, it has accumulated stories of crimes, suicides, and alleged hauntings that have added to its dark legend. Visitors have claimed to hear voices, see shadows, and feel oppressive atmospheres in some rooms where paranormal activity is said to be constant. Surprisingly, its prices are much lower than other hotels on the Strip, which fuels the idea that something sinister lurks there. Frankie Muniz, star of Malcolm in the Middle, left acting just as his career seemed to be taking off. After years of television success, he decided to leave Hollywood and dedicate himself entirely to professional motorsports, his true passion since childhood. Today, Frankie Muniz competes as a driver, training on real racetracks far from the cameras and the celebrity lifestyle he enjoyed during his childhood and adolescence. In Edinburgh, the capital of Scotland, the workday begins around 10 in the morning and usually ends around 4 in the afternoon, a rhythm that fosters tranquility and quality of life. The city prohibits skyscrapers and restores old buildings to preserve its heritage. Stitch, Disney's famous experiment 626, was designed inspired by the Eye, a lemur from Madagascar with large ears, round eyes, and a small body that strikingly resembles the animated character. This nocturnal creature has always fascinated people with its unusual and strange appearance. On cruise ships, the word "Bravo" announced over the loudspeaker means there is a fire on board, even though it sounds like simple applause. The code Alpha refers to a medical emergency, while Oscar alerts that someone has fallen overboard. PVI indicates that a passenger has vomited in a public area. These codes exist to prevent panic among travelers and allow the crew to act quickly in delicate situations. Anthony Hopkins won the Oscar for Best Actor in 1992 for his portrayal of Hannibal Lecter in The Silence of the Lambs, despite appearing on screen for only 25 minutes. His gaze, his voice, and his intense presence were enough to create the most memorable villain in modern cinema. In Japan, McDonald's created an exclusive Nintendo DSi console to train its employees through a program called the E-Crew Development Program. The software taught them how to prepare hamburgers, use the cash register, and follow protocols as if it were a real interactive video game. These consoles were never released to the public and are now so rare that they fetch prices exceeding $1,000 among collectors. Bailey, a mini sheepadoodle, went viral thanks to his almost perfect resemblance to Snoopy, the iconic dog from Peanuts. His white fur with black ears and his sweet expression led thousands of users to say he looked like a real-life version of the character created by Charles M. Schulz. Sadio Mane, the Senegalese football star, invested a large part of his fortune in improving his hometown of Bambali, building a hospital, a school, a post office, and a gas station. Thanks to these projects, thousands of people gained access to services that were previously unavailable there. In Japan, there are Bohan Yokuraboru balls, orange spheres filled with bright paint that are thrown at fleeing criminals to mark them. The paint remains on their clothing and skin for several days, making them easier to locate. The most dangerous tree in the world is the manchineel tree, found in parts of the Caribbean and Central America. Its sap causes severe burns, and even raindrops falling on its leaves can cause blisters on the skin. Even its fruit, similar to an apple, can be deadly. There was once a pig that resembled a sheep due to its curly, woolly coat. It was called the Mangalika pig and originated in Hungary. Its blonde, black, or reddish coat protected it from the coldest winters of Central Europe, making it a very hardy breed. In the mid-20th century, it was nearly extinct, displaced by more commercially viable breeds that brought it to the brink of disappearing. A group of Hungarian farmers rescued it, and thanks to their efforts, the breed survived, and its meat eventually became a luxury delicacy prized on exclusive menus. In 2015, Microsoft built the world's quietest room in Redmond, Washington, an anechoic chamber capable of absorbing 100% of ambient sound. With wedge-shaped panels, concrete and steel, it achieved a Guinness World Record with a level of -20.3 decibels, allowing one to hear the movement of bones, blood, and even the digestive system. Most people cannot stand to stay there for more than a few minutes because the brain goes into overdrive due to the complete lack of stimuli. Its construction cost over $500,000, and today it serves to test devices that require extreme acoustic precision. In Spain, there is a castle that directly inspired Walt Disney when creating the Queen's Castle in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, one of the most iconic films in history. It is the Alcázar of Segovia, located in the city of Segovia, an hour from Madrid, and famous for its ship-like shape and pointed towers. This imposing medieval architecture gave Disney the perfect visual reference to convey fantasy, magic, and elegance in his animated tale. It is currently open to the public, and each room is steeped in history, making it one of the most visited castles in the country. An engineer named Danny Manu created a headset called Mayu Click, capable of translating up to 37 languages in real time without an internet connection. This invention revolutionized communication during travel, international meetings, or situations where understanding another language was a challenge. The goal has always been to break down language barriers and allow people from different cultures to connect without relying on external applications. Oymyakon in Siberia is known as the coldest inhabited village in the world because its temperatures have reached as low as -94 degrees Fahrenheit. In this place, cars are never turned off because the engines would freeze, cell phones die in seconds, and even pen ink solidifies instantly. Despite this extreme climate, around 500 people live there, completely adapted to the permanent ice, with insulated houses and a diet rich in fat. In 2020, Oreo built a top-secret vault in Svalbard, Norway, very close to the global seed vault, to protect its recipe in case of a global catastrophe. The structure was designed to withstand earthquakes, explosions, and even apocalyptic scenarios, turning the project into an international viral phenomenon. Inside the vault were vacuum-sealed packages and a digitized copy of the original recipe, like a culinary treasure for the future. Although it began as a creative campaign, the vault actually exists and has become part of pop culture. After her divorce, Joanne Ussery decided to radically change her life by buying an old Boeing 727 for just $2,000 to convert it into her home. She invested around $30,000 more to install a kitchen, bathroom, living room, bedrooms, and even a bathtub inside the overhead compartment. The plane was parked facing a lake, and the cockpit became her reading room with a spectacular view. Her story became an example of personal reinvention, showing that with creativity, even an abandoned airplane can be turned into a welcoming home. In Abu Dhabi, you will find Ferrari World, the first indoor theme park dedicated to the Italian brand and home to the world's fastest roller coaster, Formula Rossa. This ride accelerates from 0 to 140 miles per hour in just 4.9 seconds using the same hydraulic system that launches aircraft from aircraft carriers. Visitors experience up to 4.8 Gs of force as they ride, making it an extreme experience for speed fans. In addition to the park itself, the entire building is shaped like the Ferrari logo, which is stunning from the air. James Harrison, known as the man with the golden arm, donated blood 1,173 times over 60 years and saved millions of lives. His blood contained a unique antibody that led to the anti-D treatment to prevent life-threatening Rh incompatibility in newborns. Before the treatment, thousands of babies died or suffered brain damage each year, so his contribution had an enormous impact on global medicine. His motivation began at age 14 when he received life-saving transfusions after surgery and decided to give back. Every year, something extraordinary happens in the Black Rock Desert in Nevada when thousands of people create a temporary city called Black Rock City for the Burning Man Festival. At this event, there is no money, no advertising, and no famous artists. Everything is based on collaboration, art, and total self-sufficiency. Giant sculptures, mutant vehicles, and surreal works that seem otherworldly are built, creating an ephemeral community without traditional rules. At the end, a huge wooden figure called the Man is burned, and the city disappears completely, leaving the desert as it was. Ostriches have long been victims of the myth that they bury their heads in the sand when they are scared, but in reality, they never do. These birds lower their long necks to check on their eggs or to forage on the ground. From a distance, their plumage blended with the sand, creating the illusion that their heads were buried. The truth is, an adult ostrich can run at over 44 miles per hour, so it does not need to hide from anything. The diabolical ironclad beetle keeps amazing scientists with its near indestructible toughness. This insect, native to California and Baja California, has an exoskeleton made of interlocking layers like a natural puzzle. Thanks to this structure, it can withstand pressures up to 39000 times its own weight without damage. It can even survive being run over by a car. Today, engineers study its design to create ultra-strong materials for airplanes, prosthetics, and armor. Olympic bobsleds reach speeds that rival modern race cars on extreme downhill runs. The icy tracks have turned so steep they exceed 45 degrees, forming walls that sling the sleds along dizzying lines. Each track is built with precision within a fraction of an inch, using underground cooling systems that keep perfect ice even when outside temperatures are above freezing. Each race mixes science, engineering, and daring that borders on recklessness. Soccer remains the sport that generates the most money worldwide thanks to its global reach. This sport moves more than $600 billion a year in TV rights, merchandising, player transfers, and international sponsorships. Although the NFL produces more than $20 billion annually and the NBA around $10 billion, no American league has the worldwide presence of soccer. In Mexico stands one of the most impressive modern sculptures in the country, the Chimali Warrior in Chimalhuacan. Designed by the artist Sebastian, it rises over 197 feet tall, including its pedestal, and depicts an eagle warrior holding a giant shield. Made of stainless steel, it is notable for its monumental size, visible from many points across the municipality. Inaugurated in 2014, it has become a symbol of strength, identity, and cultural resilience. Technology also surprises with inventions that feel straight out of a futuristic film, such as the smart trash can created by HTX Studio. This device uses cameras and computer vision to detect falling waste and automatically move toward it. Its motorized wheels let it track and collect trash without human help. It also changes its own bag when full, making home cleaning easier. For many, it is the first step toward robots that keep homes and public spaces spotless. The Great Blue Hole in Belize is a natural wonder, with dimensions so vast that it looks like an ocean within an ocean. This circular formation is nearly 984 feet in diameter and reaches a depth of about 407 feet, showing an intense blue that contrasts with the surrounding turquoise water. It was created more than 150000 years ago when limestone caves collapsed during the Ice Age. Today it attracts divers who explore its vertical walls and submerged stalactites while observing unique marine species. In Austria lies Eisriesenwelt, the world's largest ice cave. Its name means World of the Ice Giants. This natural colossus in the Alps near Werfen contains more than 26 miles of frozen tunnels and galleries. Its ice formations renew every winter thanks to cold air circulating inside, keeping temperatures below 32 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. Its towering columns, walls, and stalactites seem straight out of a fantasy film. Edgar Vivar, remembered worldwide as the beloved Señor Barriga and the endearing Ñoño on El Chavo del Ocho, had a surprising past before becoming an actor. He studied medicine at the National Autonomous University of Mexico and practiced as an obstetrician, attending births and working in hospitals for several years. Although he enjoyed his profession, he always felt a strong pull toward art and entertainment. When he traded his white coat for the stage, he achieved international fame with Chespirito and became an iconic figure in Latin American comedy. Lil Uzi Vert, one of the most eccentric rappers on the current scene, garnered attention in 2021 when he decided to have a 10-carat pink diamond implanted in his forehead. The jewel cost him several years to pay for and was worth millions of dollars, becoming part of his artistic identity. However, during a concert at Rolling Loud Miami, a fan managed to rip the diamond out in front of the crowd. Although Uzi retrieved it and was not seriously injured, he decided not to wear it in such a risky way again. Borobudur, on the island of Java in Indonesia, is the world's largest Buddhist monument and a unique architectural treasure. Built between the 8th and 9th centuries, it was erected with more than 2 million blocks of volcanic stone assembled without cement. Each of its levels represents a step on the path to spiritual enlightenment, culminating in 72 stupas that house Buddha statues. With over 2,600 carved reliefs, it tells stories of Buddhism, the universe, and human existence. Surrounded by jungles and volcanoes, it is a World Heritage Site and one of the most mystical places on the planet. The Meenakshi Amman Temple, in the city of Madurai, India, stands out as one of the most colorful and spectacular religious sites in the world. Dedicated to the goddess Meenakshi, an incarnation of Parvati, and to Shiva, it features enormous towers called gopurams, covered with over 30,000 sculptures painted in vibrant colors. Many of these figures depict mythological stories of gods, guardians, and sacred beings that are part of Indian tradition. With over 2,000 years of history, it still receives thousands of pilgrims daily. And during the Meenakshi Tirukalyanam festival, the city is filled with lights, processions, and celebrations that transform the temple into an unforgettable spiritual spectacle. Ant colonies have always been so complex that they resemble real underground cities, constructed with extraordinary precision. An average colony houses between 10,000 and 500,000 ants, but species like leafcutter ants or Argentine ants can reach 1 million individuals and remain organized without losing efficiency. In 2002, a group of scientists discovered a mega colony of Argentine ants stretching about 3,728 miles from Italy to Portugal, genetically connected as if it were a single empire. In South Asia, weddings still begin with an explosion of music and tradition known as Barat, a wedding procession where the groom arrives riding a horse or even an elephant. This celebration, typical of India and Pakistan, turns the streets into a colorful parade as friends and family dance, sing, and accompany the groom on his journey to the ceremony. The procession symbolizes the transition to a new stage of life and the union of two families in a festive atmosphere. When the wedding party arrives, the bride's family greets the groom with flowers, hugs, and traditional rituals that seal respect between the two families. At some weddings, the music and dancing can continue for miles, creating a seemingly endless celebration. On the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe lies one of the most extreme and fascinating places on the planet, Devil's Pool, a natural pool located right on the edge of Victoria Falls. This site is only accessible during the dry season, when the water level drops enough to allow a hidden rock to act as a barrier and prevent bathers from being swept into the abyss. From this point, visitors can peer over the edge, just inches from the precipice, and watch millions of gallons of water cascade from a height of over 328 feet. In China rises one of the most impressive bridges built in the last decade, the Guangyang Grand Canyon Bridge, recently inaugurated after 3 years of continuous work. This structure connects the Wuchu Mountains and sits more than 1,969 feet above the Qianzhang River Canyon, making it one of the highest bridges in the world. The bridge not only allows the passage of vehicles, but also welcomes visitors who can walk along transparent glass viewing platforms located at the edge of the precipice. The Appaloosa horse remains one of the most recognizable breeds on the planet, thanks to its spotted coat that looks hand-painted. Originating in North America, it was bred by the Nez Perce tribe since the 17th century, who valued its strength, intelligence, and endurance on long journeys and in battles. The most striking thing about the Appaloosa is that no two are alike. Its spots, patterns, and colors vary radically from one individual to another, like fingerprints. It is also distinguished by the white rim around its eyes and small dark spots on the skin near its muzzle. At the Ferrari factory, there is a rule that surprises even the most devoted fans. Employees cannot buy a new Ferrari. This policy aims to maintain exclusivity and give priority to external clients, especially international collectors and repeat customers who have built a relationship with the brand. The only exception is Formula One drivers, who can purchase one, although they must pay the full price without special discounts. Even legends like Michael Schumacher and Sebastian Vettel had to go through the official purchase process. Ferrari carefully selects who can acquire iconic models like the Enzo and LaFerrari, requiring a proven track record as a customer and a commitment to the brand. In Lalibela, Ethiopia, lies one of the world's most astonishing religious complexes, 11 churches carved entirely from volcanic rock in the 12th century. Each temple was sculpted from the surface down, as if the builders had extracted the form from the earth itself without using blocks or cement. The passageways and tunnels connecting the churches create a sacred labyrinth that still receives thousands of pilgrims who come to pray in spaces that seem carved by divine hands. The churches were built by order of King Lalibela, who wished to create a new African Jerusalem for the Christians of the region. In Thailand, there is a rock formation so peculiar that it appears to show 3 giant whales swimming together above the mountain. It is called Hin Sam Wan, the Rock of the 3 Whales, and is approximately 75 million years old. Wind and erosion slowly sculpted the sandstone into the shape of a mother whale with 2 calves, side by side. Viewed from the air, they appeared to emerge from an imaginary ocean, though in reality they are surrounded by rainforest. Local legends say they were sacred whales, petrified to protect the earth. In Rio de Janeiro's botanical garden, a sundial still works, telling time only with the sun's shadow, following the same technique used by ancient civilizations. This instrument blends science and art in a green setting that represents harmony between nature and human knowledge. Although it uses no batteries or modern mechanisms, it continues to mark the passage of time with surprising precision. Its operation changes with the seasons because the sun's position is never the same through the year. There are hairless guinea pigs known as Skinny and Baldwin guinea pigs, 2 varieties that attract attention for their unusual look. Skinny guinea pigs are born almost bald with only small tufts of fur on their snouts and paws, while Baldwin guinea pigs are born with a full coat but lose it soon after, becoming completely hairless. Although their appearance is unusual, They need special care because their skin is very sensitive to cold and sun. Even so, they have become popular among people who want gentle and different pets, showing that cuteness comes in many forms. In Toyama, Japan, one of the most beautiful natural shows on the planet occurs every spring, the blue glow of the glowworm squid, known as Hotaru Ika. Between March and June, millions of these small squid light up the bay with an electric blue produced by bioluminescent organs that activate when they feel threatened or during mating. From the shore, a luminous band can be seen moving with the waves, turning the coast into a magical scene. In the heart of Nyaca, Mexico, there is a cave that seems like a dream, filled with giant crystals that reach up to about 39 feet in length and weigh around 55 short tons, more than a typical bus. It was discovered in 2000 by two miner brothers who never imagined that their routine work would lead them to a brilliant and almost unreal world. Australia, on the other hand, feels like a continent dedicated to the sea and the beach, with more than 6,200 miles of coastline where you can find beaches of white, black, golden, or pink sand. If you decided to visit a different beach every day, it would take you more than 27 years to see them all, and each one offers a distinct landscape, from coastal deserts to jungles that reach right down to the sand. Some cliffs inspire respect, while other coves offer calm, crystal-clear waters perfect for swimming. Meanwhile, engineers face equally fascinating challenges when building bridges over the sea. To support these structures, they use techniques such as cofferdams or watertight caissons that isolate the water, letting them excavate and build as if on land. Another method drives steel or concrete piles deep into the seabed to hold the structure's weight and keep stability against tides and currents. Some bridges combine both strategies, and sometimes workers must dive to weld or adjust pieces, facing pressures and risks like astronauts exploring an unknown underwater world. In Ashgabat, the capital of Turkmenistan, the obsession with the color white defines the city. Buildings, cars, and structures must be white or light-colored, following the former president's belief that white represents purity and brings good luck. The city was rebuilt in white marble, setting Guinness World Records for the highest concentration of buildings clad in this material. Technology also brings unusual wonders. The Spacetop G1 is the first laptop without a physical screen, using augmented reality glasses to project a 100-inch virtual screen in front of the user. Developed by an Israeli company, this laptop lets people work in the cloud using tools like Google Docs or Zoom while keeping privacy even in public spaces. Its keyboard and compact base mix portability with productivity, and the price is about $1,900, roughly 7 million Colombian pesos. Among the most surprising animals is the blue-ringed octopus, tiny but deadly. Measuring about 4 to 8 inches in length, its poison, tetrodotoxin, can cause paralysis and respiratory failure in minutes, and there is no known antidote. Even so, this octopus usually does not attack without provocation. Its colorful body is a natural warning to anyone who sees it. A single specimen can hold enough toxin to kill more than 20 people, making it one of the deadliest animals on the planet. The Rolls-Royce Rose Noir, a one-of-a-kind drop-tail model, represents the peak of automotive luxury. Only 4 exist worldwide, each customized for its owner with handcrafted details from the dashboard to the interior materials. Its construction took years, mixing high-tech with classic elegance, and each car includes an integrated Audemars Piguet watch. The price reaches $3 million, a figure that reflects the exclusivity and artistry in each vehicle. Bill Hast, an American herpetologist, chose to develop his own immunity to snake venom. For decades, he injected himself with small doses of different toxins, survived 172 bites, and reached the impressive age of 100 years. His courage and scientific discipline earned him the nickname the Snake Man, an extraordinary example of the link between risk and knowledge. His story inspires respect and curiosity, showing that the human body can adapt to extreme challenges when science and willpower work together. In the deep sea, the red-lipped batfish moves clumsily along the ocean floor, using its fins like legs to walk. Its flattened body and glossy lips look like they are painted with cosmetics, but the strategy is not only aesthetic, it may help attract a mate or confuse prey. It lives in the Galapagos Islands, and its behavior shows that even nature follows curious rules of adaptation and survival. The ancient Romans had surprising hygiene practices, such as using urine to whiten teeth and disinfect the mouth. It contained ammonia, a compound with cleaning properties that is still used in some household products today. People collected urine in jars and sold it, sometimes mixing it with salt, vinegar, or honey to improve its effect. Valentina Vasiliev, an 18th century Russian peasant woman, gave birth to 69 children in 27 pregnancies, including 16 sets of twins, 7 sets of triplets, and 4 sets of quadruplets. In an era without assisted fertilization or modern medical technology, she managed to survive with her offspring, many of whom lived past childhood, a remarkable feat given the high mortality rate of the time. Her story continues to amaze scientists and doctors and stands as one of humanity's most unusual records. In the Amazon rainforest, a fungus called Pestilodiopsis microspora shows incredible abilities. It can feed on polyurethane, one of the toughest plastics, even without oxygen. This discovery suggests that landfills and oceans could be cleaned with living organisms that break down materials once thought indestructible. The researchers who found it imagine a future where pollution is reduced through biological solutions, changing how humanity handles waste. In China, aesthetic innovation has reached a surprising level with dental tattoos. This trend engraves designs, symbols, or phrases on custom dental crowns. The tooth is not tattooed directly. A protective cap covers it, and artists apply hearts, stars, traditional Chinese symbols, or personal phrases. Dental artists use high-precision lasers, so the process is painless, safe, and long-lasting. It began in luxury clinics, spread to other Asian countries, and is projected to be one of the bold trends of 2025, drawing the attention of people who want original self-expression. Meanwhile, in Scotland, the Brewmeister Brewery pushed beer to wild extremes with Armageddon at 65% alcohol by volume, stronger than many whiskeys. Its success led to snake venom at 67.5%. Unlike regular beers, these are concentrated by partial freezing that removes water and leaves an intense, fiery taste. In New Zealand, the kiwi is a small but extraordinary bird that lays eggs up to 25% of its body weight. This tiny, flightless bird digs for insects and lays eggs with large yolks, giving the chick enough nutrition to develop almost fully before hatching. Kiwis guard their nests carefully, bury eggs in burrows, and incubate them for more than 70 days, roughly twice the time of most birds. In Indonesia, sulfur miners work in extreme conditions inside the Ijen volcano, facing toxic gases and temperatures over 392 degrees Fahrenheit. Each day they carry up to about 198 pounds of solid sulfur, breathing fumes with little or no protection, risking their lives for a few dollars a day. Despite the danger, these men descend into the crater to collect sulfur blocks and at night watch blue flames made by burning sulfur gas. Some people have medical conditions so rare they seem unreal. Hematidrosis, also called hematohidrosis, causes people to sweat blood under extreme stress or intense fear. Tiny vessels around the sweat glands rupture. Documented cases show drops of blood on the forehead, face, or neck without visible wounds. It is so unusual that only a handful of cases exist worldwide. Sweden pioneered the vacation prescription. Doctors prescribe time in nature instead of standard pills. The goal is better mental and physical health. While Egypt is famous for its pyramids, Sudan has more than 200 ancient structures built by the Kingdom of Kush, a civilization that flourished more than 2,500 years ago. Kushite kings and queens built these pyramids. They are smaller and steeper than Egyptian ones, but equally striking, serving as tombs and showing traditions with a distinct style. Many still stand in the desert, little known and rarely visited, making them archaeological secrets. The ocean's sunfish, or mola mola, lives in temperate and tropical seas. It can grow over 10 feet long and weigh up to about 5,070 pounds. Its flat, round, tailless body is unmistakable. It often lies on its side near the surface to warm up in the sun, then dives to deeper water. It eats jellyfish, small fish, and algae, and despite a clumsy look, it can dive to about 1,969 feet. The female lays up to 300 million eggs, the most of any known vertebrate, a sign of its remarkable reproduction and adaptation. The harpy eagle, queen of the tropical skies, lives in the rainforests of Central and South America and reaches a wingspan of over 6.5 feet. Its talons, almost the size of a brown bear's, can seize monkeys and sloths whole. Its flight through trees shows precision and power. The feathered crown gives it a majestic, almost mythic look that matches its role as a top predator. Singapore enforced strict rules on chewing gum in 1992, banning sale and import to keep streets and public transit clean. Fines and penalties were heavy. In 2004, therapeutic gum became allowed with a doctor's prescription. The Polish chicken stands out for an extravagant crest of feathers that covers most of its head, like a runway look. Though the name suggests Poland, it likely came from the Netherlands or Italy. It is bred mainly for beauty, not eggs, though it can lay between 120 and 150 white eggs per year. This ornamental breed is popular in poultry shows and as a pet for its friendly and curious nature. Purebred Polish chickens can bring high prices, especially rare colors or perfect plumage, joining looks with value. The Apple Vision Pro brings immersive learning with three-dimensional models. It can simulate surgeries, engineering setups, and complex scenarios with fine detail. In 2017, Samsung launched the Ostrich ad, where an ostrich experiences flight thanks to a virtual reality simulator. The campaign won multiple Clio Awards for creative and emotional storytelling. Alexander Goldy's elevates stop motion to a high art, crafting animations from sequential photos that merge art and technology. His skill makes objects feel alive. Valeriano Fatica, an Italian sculptor, carves fruit with such precision that he creates busts of characters like Goku or Venom. His work shows amazing control with organic materials. There are dog training for humans programs where people learn to improve their communication and empathy with their dogs. These courses strengthen connection and mutual understanding. The so-called safety candle, of Chinese origin, is surprising for its design. It can light spaces with intense light while reducing fire risk. This invention, tested in Dubai, combines heat-resistant materials with a system that automatically cuts the flame in an accident. Matte Charcoal masters charcoal to portray scenes and faces full of emotion. His style blends abstract and realistic elements with strong technical precision. The Fallas of Valencia turn the Spanish city into an open-air museum with satirical monuments made of cardboard and wood. The festival ends with a spectacular burning and a unique fireworks show. Microsoft unveiled an Xbox controller inspired by Deadpool, called the Cheek Controller. Available only through a giveaway, it became a highly sought item for collectors. In Australia, a jetpack uses two large propellers to lift a person. It is experimental, but it feels like science fiction and points toward personal air travel. Chess boxing mixes physical combat with mental challenge. Competitors alternate boxing rounds with chess games and win by checkmate or knockout, a tough test of body and mind. Tell us in the comments which of these fun facts blew your mind the most. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and share for more fun facts.